I'm going to show you how you can use a simple inflatable balance cushion to really take some beginner Pilates or beginner low back rehab exercises to the next level. Okay, this is just if you've gone through those basic ones well and you're looking for that nice little extra challenge without putting too much extra load through your back, but really to get those core muscles working well. So from your rest position where you're lying on your back, you'd start off and place your balance cushion underneath your low back. So propping yourself up, you come down and that balance cushion is probably in line with your tailbone, and you should find that it fits quite nice and snugly in the natural contour of your low back. From here you've got the really nice feeling of instability underneath, but it's quite comfortable. You therefore know if the cushion moves, your back by definition must have moved, and so must your pelvis have done, and therefore that kind of denotes weakness. If you can keep the cushion still, however, your core stabilizers are going to be one of the main contributors to that. So we take a simple exercise like a hip twist level 1 from a modified Pilates program, and the right knee moves out to start with, left leg stays beautifully still, and then you come back. And then repeat on the other side. There's our hip twist movement. However, with that cushion underneath rather than being on the floor, I feel my core muscles having to work that extra degree more. Way more so if I take my arms out of the equation, either crossed over my chest or floating by my side. They can't stabilize, and I can feel that cushion wanting to twitch around. But if you keep that idea of pure dissociation of movement, one leg moving at a time, coming back in, keeping everything else still, absence of pain in the back, you can really feel that corset of core strength having to up its game because it's on something wobbly. And that applies to pretty much any basic exercise. If we take the scissors level 1, where we come up to tabletop with one leg and then back down, when we change over, when we lift the leg, if there's any movement in that cushion, we know we've got some room for improvement, particularly if we're doing that sort of thing with the arms off the floor. You can really feel that that's a good challenge to stop that cushion flicking me off and moving me to the side, and that's where you can get this really nice active feedback straight away. It works just as well for something like the swimming level 1, and it's actually a very nice strategy for that, because a lot of people find it's uncomfortable lying on their front because it compresses the low back. The cushion takes care of that and also brings a new dynamic. So lying down on the floor, as long as it doesn't feel uncomfortable under there, you've got a really nice modification. If you've not done swimming exercise before, I'd tuck the toes underneath and just practice straightening one knee and lowering down, and then the other one as well. Rest your head on your hands, keep the shoulders relaxed, and just as before, if you can keep that cushion still as you're doing this simple movement, your core muscles will be contributing to that. The progression is I suppose the classical level 1 from this modified program, where you straighten and then stretch and reach your ankle. So you've got the whole leg off the floor and then come back under. So there's the modified version where you've got the knee straightened first, then the foot and ankle reach, and then come back down. If it's comfortable, you can then do that exercise with the feet pointed to start with, rather than the toes tucked underneath, and you stretch and reach and come back down, and then the same on the other side. And I can feel that I'm wanting to roll around on that cushion as I'm doing these movements, particularly when the legs change over. So this is why I really like this technique, because you're still doing quite simple movements which aren't going to be too provocative for a back which has been grumpy, but you really get that sense for this element of core stability, keeping that central core still, maintaining what's called lumbo-pelvic neutral. And I really hope that when you try this, you feel that instability really quickly, and therefore you've got much better insight as to whether you're actually doing what you'd hoped. So that's why I like these balance cushions. They've got a myriad of other uses as well, but really nice modifications for these beginner level low back rehab exercises.